everybody. Listen, it has been a while. Periscope and Facebook. What's up, everybody? So I have made a commitment to come back on and to make sure that I am pouring out, because y'all know after 18 years I got all the tips on how to thrive as a single mom. Hey. So I'm Kwanda Lamb. Welcome to Mom Chat. On Periscope we normally call it Single Mom Sunday, and so I want to start calling it the Mom Chat, because every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be coming on to give you some tips on how to thrive through this thing as a single mom. And so the way this works is I'm going to be on for about 15-30 minutes, and I'd love for you to interact with me. I'd love for you to share this with other single moms that you know, with other women, and even our single dads out there that could get a lot out of this. So, you know, to come back, wow, let me see. I used to Periscope, man, I think 2015, 2016, straight through. And then about early spring 2017, I had to pull back a little bit because I started hosting some bigger events, and it was just so much, right? And so coaching, all that good stuff. But I miss you guys. I miss y'all. I'm on. I miss our connection. I miss just being able to give you some information in real time. And so here I am, and tonight's topic is a winning mindset. This is so important, and especially as African American women. Hey, Kelly. Especially as African American women, nobody talks to us about healing. Nobody talks to us, you know, nowadays, sure, right? Nobody talks to us about self-care. What's that? When we were growing up, our parents do it. They did it anyway, right? They dug in, they took care of us, they worked hard. You know, that's what we saw, that's what we modeled. And so we're typically the people who take care of everybody else, but who takes care of us when we're exhausted? And that's why I want to talk about mindset today, because sometimes we are of the mindset that if we don't do this and if we don't do that, we're not going to make it. We're not going to get the promotion. Such and such isn't going to like us. And we don't stop to pause and give ourselves breaks. We don't stop to pause and say, you know what, I am doing a great job. We don't stop. And if we pat ourselves, we feel guilty about it. You know, what is that? And so what I want to talk about tonight is how to reject those negative mindsets and how to build a positive mindset. So as an educator, we talk about this stuff a lot in my field. And we talk about growth mindsets, and we talk about fixed mindsets. And real quick, a fixed mindset is I'm just going to be a poor, struggling single mom, and that's just who I am, and that's just how it is. This has happened to me, and it sucks, but there's nothing I can do about it. That's a fixed mindset. But it takes you going through some things. It takes you being in that place long enough to start developing a growth mindset. And what I like to try to do is help you get there faster as a coach to single moms. I like to help you reclaim those dreams that you thought you lost because life happened, right? Somebody walked away, you got a divorce, however you became a single mom, right? And in doing that, what that allows you to do is to not only be present and take care of you, take care of your family, go after those dreams, but find out that you have more room in your life to do all the things that you thought were lost. And so that's why it's so important to develop a growth mindset. And so there's lots to talk about mindset, the mindset for success, right? I'm a big believer in it, because as an entrepreneur and a business major, you have to have a strong mindset. You got to have mental toughness, because sometimes we'll sit and it's negative self-talk. We'll talk ourselves out of it. Thank you for the hearts and all that stuff. I appreciate it. Share it with some folks if you think they can get some value out of it, because we avoid these kind of situations and these kind of conversations and these kind of scenarios, we end up on the couch with our psychiatrists and our psychologists and, you know, spinning our wheels and exhausted like I was in grad school when I was doing entirely too much, right? And I didn't ask for help. I didn't check with my team. I didn't ask my support group, because what? We got it. We take care of the world, right? And so what I'm not telling you not to do those things. I'm telling you that if you're going to thrive as a single mom, you have to learn to balance. You have to learn to find balance. And it's hard, because it's going to mean that you're going to have to say no to something. And you're going to have to say no to somebody. And there are some people in your life who might not like the fact that you're not doing everything for them, taking care of everything for them, going everywhere with them at every whim. No, in order to obtain your goals and your dreams and reclaim those things and go after the life that you know God has told you in your heart of hearts that you're supposed to have. But when you're over here with that fixed mindset, you're like, oh, I'll never get it. I don't know when it's going to happen. Maybe it'll fall out of the sky. No, you actually have to do the work. But to do the work, you've got to start figuring out, where are you spending time that you need to pull that time back? Where are you spending time? Who are you spending time with? Who needs to go? And so one of my friends is one of my accountability partners, because I got, a couple things going on. And when you start doing that, when you start growing beyond where you're accustomed to, you're going to find that you need an accountability partner too. That's why we coach. And so he was telling me, he said, listen, this next level is going to require you to cut some things out. I said, I've already cut. He was like, get ready to cut some more. And we're not being say that, but we all heard it in church when they say everybody can't go with you, right? And so we're saying is, in order to really be present and be that amazing mom that you are, so you can stop feeling mom guilt, you've got to develop a growth mindset. You got to develop the mindset that says, you know what, I've been taking 2 hours to get something done. A growth mindset says, what if I get it done in 30 minutes? What if I could get it done in an hour, and then I could have an hour to just be me? I can have an hour to watch my favorite TV show I've missed for the last 6 weeks. I have an hour to spend more time with my kids. I can have an hour or 2 or 3 or 4 to do something new and amazing. And so the thing about mindset, the mindset to win, is it happens once we either have something that has happened to us that we don't like, or we listen to some people who are trying to tell us and help us. And so I want you to not have the experience like I did when I was in grad school, that I was alluding to earlier, when I just was like, okay, God, I can't even go to sleep. I've been working so much and overdoing it and going into overdrive and pushing when I didn't have energy, right? Just going and going and going. Because if I don't do it, who's going to do it? But nobody said it had to be done then. Why did I think it had to be done then? And so I got to a point where I was burnt out. I was worn out. I was exhausted. I was the walking dead. Let me just tell you. I was whipped. I was a zombie. I was taking care of everybody, right? And I wasn't taking care of myself. And so my mindset had to shift. So you know what I did? I prayed. I just said, Lord, listen, if you don't help me go to sleep tonight, I'm going to be up all night, because my mind would not stop. Right? Do this, do that, do this, do that, prepare for this. Did you check that? I said, if you don't do it, I won't get any rest, and that won't help me tomorrow. I got to go to work. I got to work a full-time job. I'm in school full-time. I'm raising these boys by myself full-time. I need your help. And so I got to the point of where I needed to ask for help. Now that I've gone through that phase in my life, I tell women to avoid giving everything you got to people and things, good things sometimes and good people, but they're not at the right moment. And we have to really take a step back, right? It takes growth. We have to take a step back, say, okay, what do I want in my life? What am I doing in my life that's not helping me get to that point? What do I need to cut out in my life? And like I said, it's not easy. It's not easy, but it must be done. And so to develop a winning mindset, you've got to say, you know what? It's no longer woe is me. I'm not listening to the lie that I can't do this, that I'm going to have to work this job for 30 years. I'm going to have to be stuck in this city for another 10 years because of this. No, you start telling yourself that I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I may have messed up. I may have fallen short. I can do this. In order to develop a winning mindset, you have to assess your situation. You have to say, what is it that's happening in my life that I don't like? And sometimes we'll say to ourselves, okay, what can I do about it? And the first answer will be that pops in your head is nothing. You just got to take it. And the truth is you don't. It's a lie from the pit of hell. You do not have to just take it. I'm not saying that we need to quit our jobs. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you to tell your loved ones and family members and significant others tomorrow, I'm Xing you out of my life. I'm not telling you to do any of that. I am telling you to take stock of your relationships and to take stock of what it is that you're really doing. Where are you spending time that you need to pull some time back? right? For yourself and for your dreams. And so this whole idea of mindset is, what are we thinking? What's between our two ears? Is it some negative thinking, right? Do we talk ourselves into doing something? Oh, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And then do we quickly talk ourselves out of it? And let me tell you, mindset is so tricky. Like, you will have done it and not even know you've done it. You will have sat down and 5 minutes later, like, oh, I'm not going to do it. It's not going to work. When the truth is, you haven't even tried. You have to try. You have to go after your dreams. And you do not need to wait until your kids are 18. You do not need to wait until 5 years from now, 3 years from now. You know what that is? That's a cop-out. That's a cop-out, right? And so we easily feed ourselves those things. I want you to stop it. See, the title that I have on my webpage is The Winning Single Mom. Do you know why? Because for a season, I was the tired and the exhausted and the worn out single mom. And I had to get to a point to where I said, you know what? There's gotta be a way that I can obtain my dreams, that I can date again, because I had been telling myself nobody wants me, because there's this one guy I dated who was like, oh, you got kids? Nah, right? So what did that do? That made me shut down. That made me think all men or whatever, right? And this is why I do the dating confidence coaching that I do, because it is a lie. It is not the truth. And what was speaking was little scared Kwanda, but what needed to speak louder was strong, brave, ready to do this, ready to go after her dreams and still raise great babies, Kwanda. And you know what? I had to find her. I had to push to pull her out, because she was there. Your inner beast, your inner amazing mom is there, right? But she's got to take stock, and she's got to say to herself, I can't keep on pleasing everybody else and then have nothing else left over to give to me. There is a way to be amazing mom, provider, good sister, great daughter, but everybody doesn't need all of your time, right? Down at the church, I know we like to do that, helping out at work, staying over, all of that. What is that keeping you from doing that you know you've been called to do, that you know you should be doing? So my question to you is, do you have a winning mindset? And if so, what are your goals for the rest of 2018? See, I know that I have some amazing, scary, huge goals that relate to you and other moms like you. And sometimes my mind will say, okay, Wanda, you're doing too much. And sometimes maybe I am. Maybe I do need to pull back. And that's why I have accountability partners. And that's why I have coaches, right? And friends that I can bounce things off of. And sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's fear. Just like little scared Kwanda was when she was like, oh my God, this dude and I just broke up. Well, I broke up with him after he was cheating around with a whole bunch of women. But it's for real this time, because, you know, we do that back and forth. And I have to pay for daycare. I have to pay rent. I have to pay for a car. I have to pay for food. How am I going to do all of this? And for a season, little scared Kwanda was scared out of her mind. But then she realized that she was worth it. She realized her babies were worth it. And she realized that she was going to get up and she was going to figure it out. And she was going to allow her mind to grow. And part of my growth mindset was me going back to school. Part of my plan to make more money, okay, get a bigger and better apartment, right, put my kids in good schools, was me doing the work, right? And so, like I said, even I fell into the trap of doing. And so I want you to always say to yourself, what is the best and highest use of my time? What is the best and highest use of my money? What is the best and highest use of my love? Who are we giving our energy to? What are you giving your energy to that you need to pull some back for you, right? And that you need to make sure you have a healthy dose of it for the people that really matter, i.e. you and your kids, right? You and your kids, you and your loved ones. Okay, so I bring this up because sometimes we have this thing called mom guilt. So I wanted to challenge you tonight to develop the mindset to win no matter what, but to also do it in increments, right? So I went, full gusto. I went after everything. Oh, I could do it. I could do it. And you know what I did in the process? I wore myself out. So maybe I shouldn't have been full-time in grad school, right? With a full-time job and raising 2 kids full-time by myself and driving back and forth. But I made it. And in retrospect, I'm thinking I should have listened to my advisor. But I made it, right? And all these years later, here I am doing the doggone thing. And so we'll have those seasons. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, but you have to be able to say, how do I get to the life that I want? How do I dream again? How do I make room in my life for the stuff that I know my mind is telling me I'm supposed to have? My vision is showing me it's out there in the distance. How do I get to it faster? Right? What do I need to do now? What can I sacrifice now so that I can have what I know that I deserve? And so I challenge you tonight as I get ready to wind off, if nobody has any questions, and let me see if anybody, hey y'all, hey ladies, if nobody has any questions, I want you to take out, like, I love these little Post-its like this, these little things. See, can y'all see those? Right, with the lines. I'm a writer, so you know I got my little planners and journals everywhere. I want you to do some work tonight. I want you to take a second and actually write down just one day. You know, think about your busiest day during the week. And I want you to write down what you do from sun up to sundown. I want you to write down, what's your morning practice? Are you hurried in the morning? Do you have space in the morning where you get up and you're drinking your coffee, having your tea, eating your cereal, making a real breakfast, whatever? What's your routine? I mean, all the way, write it down from sun up to sundown. What do you do? And I want you to just fill it out, thinking about nothing, but just filling it out. And then I want you to step back and look at it and say, okay, what are the things that I'm doing that I can cut out so that I can have more time for XYZ? What are the things that I know that I should be devoting time to, but I'm not because I'm doing XYZ, right? See, sometimes we have to take a look at the big picture and dissect it day by day. So the way that I found out that I could do more, right, and help myself in that season was I began to dream. I began to ponder, and yes, I was desperate. I was desperate because this dude really was not going to help me. This dude was not responding to phone calls. This guy who I thought was the world's perfect whatever, never would have walked away from his kids. You know, he was not in a position to be there and to focus. And so I had to develop the mindset to win no matter what. And you will too. So whether you are a 6-figure earner, 7-figure earner, 5-figure earner, 4-figure earner, doesn't matter. Do you want another level? Do you want to go to another level? And if you do, you have to sit down and make a plan. And the first thing is assess your situation. And that's why I said sun up to sundown, what do you do? Right? So after you've assessed your situation, you need to sit back and say, what do I need to add in and what do I need to take away? Right? So that's the second step. And then the third step I want you to do is I want you to spend some time dreaming. Just dreaming before you take any action, right? Before you make any rash moves, just spend some time dreaming about the perfect life you want. This is why I love coaching. This is why I always have an element like this in any event that I host, because I want to know what it is that you're telling yourself that you can have. And a lot of the times I have to do the work to train the ladies that come to my events how to dream again, how to say they want this, how to even, feel okay about speaking. I want to make more money. I want to have love in my life, right? That's so much of what I do as a coach is working on our mindset. And so that's why this was my first topic tonight. And I know it's not for everybody, but it's so true that if we do not fix what we're thinking and we're subconsciously thinking it, we will stay stuck. We will stay stuck. You will stay stuck unless you challenge what it is that you believe about what it is that you deserve and what it is that you can have. I'm so serious. You have to challenge your belief on what it is that you believe you deserve and what it is that you believe you can have, right? So just like I had to challenge myself and date again, I had to push myself. That's why I love doing my dating confidence coaching. Oh my God, it breaks my heart every time I'm working with a mom and she really doesn't think that she's pretty and she really doesn't think that somebody wants to love her. And after we coach, she finds out, oh my God, there are so many people that are attracted to me. Absolutely. But you didn't see them. because you were thinking that nobody is attracted to you and that nobody wants to date you, which is a lie. You're amazing, right? And so that's why I do so much work on mindset, because we've got to shift it. In order to be the best mamas that we can be, you've got to shift your mind. You got to shift your thinking. And then you got to show up, right? And so in balancing being there for our kids, and in balancing going after our dreams, and in balancing opening ourselves up for new love, you've got to make sure that you save space for you. You've got to make sure that somewhere in your day, somewhere in your week, you're finding time to wind down. You're not just going, because I'm your witness. I'm your witness that it doesn't work, right? And yes, we see some people, but we don't see everything and we don't know everything. And they're just as tired and as exhausted, right? Or they figured out how to make it look like they're doing and then they rest. Make it look like they're doing and then they rest, because that's possible too, right? But really sit down tonight and do the work that I'm asking you to do. And once you start dreaming again, oh my gosh, your mind is going to shift and it's going to say, ooh, you really want to get that PhD? Let's figure out how to do it. Oh, you really want to go back to school? Let's figure out how to do it. Oh, you want to move to this state and you want to have this kind of place to live in? Let's figure out how to do it. And your mind will start building the bridge to get there. And I'm not going to tell you it's going to be perfect, because just as soon as you start dreaming, fear is going to creep in. You start telling people your dreams, they're going to start telling you, are you sure you could do that? Are you sure? You sure you want to do all that right now? And you have to know within yourself that is yours and that you can have it. And so the last thing I'm going to give you for shifting your mindset, which is those steps, those action steps you need to take. And then the fourth thing I want you to do is I want you to take some little stickies and I want you to write down what is amazing about you. I want you to write down the things that you like about you, right? And even the things that you feel you don't like or that you can improve on. And I want you to say something like, for me, for example, I've always been thin. You know, it took me a couple years, a lot of years to get some hips. And, you know, this area still doesn't grow, right? So well, okay, it's sufficient. I ain't never had no complaints. Let's just say that. But you ladies know what I'm talking about. And so I remember when I was younger, you know, my cousins used to call me the president of the little bitty titty committee. Let's just say it like that. And for a long time I thought, well, you know, guys are going to be interested in me because I'm not, you know, top heavy. Listen, Linda, listen, honey, no problems, no problems pulling them. So let me just tell you that I had to come to terms with, this is who I am. I can try to eat myself till I'm sick and tired, because I did. I tried to eat more to gain weight. The weight didn't go nowhere near here. I had 2 babies, and then once the babies were out of me, they dried back up, right? I'm just meant to be like this. And so I had to come to terms with you know, what it was that I didn't like about my body, what it was that I didn't like about me. And I had to say, you know what, girl, I love you. I love you anyway. And when I began to love myself anyway, you know what? You know what that did? That confidence attracted other people to me. And like I said, she's had no complaints. So that's just an example. So what I would write if I was still in that space is I would say, I am more than enough. Every part of my body is more than enough. I am beautiful. I am graceful. And you take your little sticky notes and you plug them around. You post them around the house. You put them in places that you're going to see them. And they're little reminders like these vision boards I have back here of the things that I want and stuff that I'm doing, right? And I will tell you that every year I do an envisioning activity. And I also host a vision board party every year, right, for single moms, just for us. And it's so amazing to see women dream. Somebody always cries because they haven't been believing that they could have it. It's mindset. It's all mindset. And if you do not fix what is here, you will not move in reality. And our kids deserve better. We deserve better. The man that's looking for you deserves better. The people you're supposed to impact deserve better. You've got to get to moving towards your goals and your dreams, and it starts with what is here. It starts with what you believe. And so I'm challenging you to develop a growing mindset. Keep growing. Go to the next level. Get that level, then think, okay, this is great. Celebrate it. Enjoy it. Soak it in. Breathe it in. What's the next step? How do I get to the next level? Right? Because I didn't go from struggling single mom one day to not struggling single mom. It took steps. It took me growing. It took me pushing. It took me trying. It took me every time I got knocked down, believing that I could get back up. And it took me trying to get back up, right? It took me actually facing what was going on in my life. And so that's why I do the work that I do, because I truly believe that we can have what we say, but we've got to be saying good things. And this isn't one of those woo-woo kind of practices. This is real. You know, the Bible tells us to speak life. To speak life. And that's what you're doing when you develop a growth mindset. You're speaking life into your dreams. You're speaking life into your family. You're speaking life into your future. You're speaking life into your present. And so that's what I had today. Does anybody have any questions? I just want to come on for a little bit. I am going to do this every Sunday. I do have some travel coming up. Actually, I'm going to be speaking next Sunday in Dallas, and I have some travel coming up in May and in June, and some things I'll be speaking at and attending. And so if I have to be out of town, I will let you guys know, and I'll do it on another day. But this is one of those opportunities to really talk with somebody who's been there, and to really see what it is like to go from, you know, struggling single mom to going to school 4 times with kids. And like I told you, one of my opportunities, one of my times that I went, I didn't do it thinking about how could I do this and not wear myself out. You know, sometimes life just demands us to rise up to another level, and I did it, and I was successful at it, and it's been a blessing ever since. But in retrospect, I would have taken at least one semester, one class, so that I could breathe, so that I could focus. And so what ended up happening was I pushed through till the end, but I was exhausted, and I'm sure I was crabby, right, and gripey, but I made it, and you will too. So I want you to say to yourself all the things I asked you to do early on in the call. I want you to give yourself those affirmations. I want you to post them around your house. I want you to dissect the day and really start thinking, what am I doing with my time? What's the best and highest use? Thank you, Tracy. What's the best and highest use of my time? Who am I giving it to? Are they giving it back to me? Right? And so at the end of people's lives, nobody sits back and says, I should have worked more. Nobody. Nobody sits back and says, I should have gone to work more. I should have paid more bills. Nobody. Nobody. You know what they say? I should have spent more time with my kids. I should have spent more time with my wife. I should have traveled the world. I should have seen more things. I should have gone to that concert. So we've got to learn how to, as single moms, to not let our status stop us from living. And you know what that takes? It takes mindset. It takes shift here. And if you can shift here, girl, ooh, if you can shift here, you can have it. I just got hype. If you can shift here, you can have anything you want. But you have got to do the work. And sometimes the work is hard, right? But push through. I am a witness that if you push through, if you get the help, if you get the support, if you show up, it will happen. So, do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions? I am the winning single mom and author, speaker, coach, and event host here in the Dallas, Texas area. I do a couple things around the U.S. called Brunch and Love. I host a relationship brunch for single moms. It's a relationship panel, and it's also a brunch component to it, dancing and just fun and fabulous food. And those will be coming up in the summer, going toward the fall. So I'm planning all those now. I actually have a mastermind coming up in May here for women who are in the Dallas area, or anybody who wants to fly in. Ladies, let me tell you, this price on this is super, super, super amazing. And we're going to do some deep dives. And we're going to focus on the things that you need so that you can go back home and win. And so that's out on Eventbrite. I'll actually post a link for it. It's bit.ly/single mom mastery. And I named it that because I want you to learn how to master this thing. I want you to stop running from it. I want you to stop saying, woe is me. I want you to stop being frustrated and worn out and exhausted and feeling guilty because you missed a game, or you couldn't attend this, or you didn't have this for that, or all the things that we do to ourselves. And I want you to develop the mindset to win, right? And so I'm super challenging you wherever you are to do the work that I listed today. My books are available on my website and also on Amazon. And I'm telling you, let me show you this book. This here first book, listen, ladies, listen. There is no reason why every woman listening to me today should buy this book for herself and for her friends. This book right here is the reason why I'm able to be the happy, excited, loving life single mom that I am. I sat down and I wrote the 12 steps that I went through to get from brokenhearted, crying, stressed out, worried about what people were saying about me, still loving somebody who wasn't good to me, how to break a soul tie. All of that I put in this book, and it's called Do It Anyway, The Single Mom's Guide to Living Life and Achieving Her Goals. And I'm telling you, this is why mindset and success for you is so important to me, because I was that stuck woman. I was that brokenhearted person who did not deserve it. And I know you're like, I don't deserve this either. Absolutely. But if you stay stuck, if you say, this is all I can have and this is just where I have to be and I just have to accept this relationship, and you don't challenge yourself to say, but what if? What if I decided to believe I can have what God says I could have? What if? And so I put that in this book, and I wrote it in such a way that I wanted you to feel like you were talking to a girlfriend, that you were talking to somebody who cared about you, who understood where you were coming from, and who would give you the steps to get to your next level. And I'm telling you that I have no regrets. When I was done writing, I was like, it's finished and it's ready for the world, because that's why I get up. This is why I get up, right? This is why I get up and I work in my business, and this is why I write and I speak and I host events, because if I can help you, look at these two boys. If I can help you, then I'm helping your babies. I looked at these two faces, let me tell you, 16 years ago. My oldest is 18 now, and he's getting ready to graduate high school. I'm so proud when I look at those boys of what God allowed me to do and how he allowed me to raise them and how he kept us from harm. And even though we struggled here and there, he kept us, and he kept showing me how to push to the next level and how to go and how to connect and how to build and how to grow and how to dream again and how to believe and how to ignite my faith. And so I share this because I looked at those two faces and I was like, what are we going to do, right? For a season. And then he showed me, this is what you're going to do. You're going to get up and you're going to move. You're going to shift your mindset. You're going to shift your belief system. You're going to dive into the word, and you're going to allow me to show you the life that I have for you. So speaking of life, I'm going to go, my oldest is getting his license because we're behind the ball on that, and I got to go help him practice and make sure that we have dinner made. But I just wanted to come through and chat with you guys, and I tell you I'm going to do this every Sunday unless I have something coming up. And like I told you, I have a few speaking engagements coming up early on and some things I'll be doing on some Sundays, and if so, then I'll find a way to do it earlier or we'll switch the date. But this is an opportunity to ask me questions, right? How do you shift your mindset, Kwanda? How do I believe that I can make it? How do I, work on bringing more money into my family? How do I, whatever, okay? So this is a good opportunity for us to have kind of like some office hours, and you can ask the coach some questions. Because 18 years, honey, I try to give you practical advice for the single mom life. Practical advice that I know that works. See, I got a lot of degrees behind my name. I don't need to go get another one to tell you how to be a successful single mom, because I did it. Does that make sense? And so as a mindset and success coach with 18 years of experience, I'm talking from the bottom to the top, I know how to tell you. And the fact that I'm an educator helps me put that succinctly in a way that you can go ahead and solve your problem and get to your next level faster. So who wouldn't want to talk to a coach who can help them figure out what's going on in their life, right? So listen, I love you guys with the love of Jesus. I pray you have an amazing night. I always end all of my Periscopes and Facebook Lives with this. I challenge you to prepare to win. The week ahead is coming, and if you're not prepared for it, it will eat you alive. So tonight, take some time to get ready for the week. Take some time to breathe and focus on you and to do the work that I asked you to do today, and you will be successful, right? So God bless you. I'll talk to you next Sunday, and I might pop on a little bit during the week. I love the little audio feature, and if I can't do a live video, I always try to do a little audio. All right, so blessings, blessings, blessings. If you still have any questions, hit me in the inbox. You can find me over at kwandalam.com. Lots of information out there on my website to bless you, and also to get in touch with me for coaching And again, if you're in Dallas, we're doing a mastermind next month on the 12th. It's on Eventbrite, and it's called Mastermind My Life. And I'm telling you, come to that event. We're going to help you get your whole life together, and you're going to meet some new mama friends. All right, so God bless you. I will talk to you next Sunday for Single Mom Chat. Prepare to win.